There are numerous factors that influence your aging process. That could be environment, sun exposure. We know smoking has a huge effect. Could be genetics. But there's one thing that makes a huge difference how fast you age from the inside out, your biological aging process. And if you want to learn which number one food is going to age you drastically and rapidly, then you want to stick around and watch this video. So what is that number one food that ages rapidly? You guessed right. Highly processed food. Probably no surprise to you. So I'm going to talk about 4 areas that highly processed food is part of, or the problem of. It's high levels of sodium. And sodium is added to processed food for a couple of reasons. First of all, it enhances the taste. It makes it taste better. And also it increases the shelf life. But the problem that comes with that is a very high risk of cardiovascular disease, heart problems, and also blood pressure. It really raises that blood pressure. Second, it's stripped of fiber. Fiber is there to help us feel full and satisfied. It's also very important for the absorption of your carbohydrates. Okay, it helps it to digest, it helps it to absorb, and we need the carbohydrates to have the energy. Mindfully though, the right carbohydrates, low glycemic carbohydrates. Third, it's altered to be addictive, and I found that very interesting in my research. Because we don't think about that when we think about that bag of chips that we're longing for, and what goes really good with that is a can of Coke, right? Both are highly, highly addictive. It has that feeling. So it releases an intense hit of the reward-related neurotransmitter dopamine, all right, when we consume that. So that dopamine is the little culprit that it's raising that addictive neurotransmitter. Fourth, it creates free radicals, and that has to do something with our cells. It leads to oxidation of our cells and as well your DNA, which then in turn causes lots of damage that leads to big problems, including cancer, and that's scientifically backed up, but lots of other problems too. So there's just a few of them that are just a few reasons why that is such a big problem. But there is a couple of tips that we can keep in mind. Perhaps we could start very slow to kind of wean ourselves off from indulging too much in highly processed food. Taking a day by day, maybe one meal a day, or maybe one food of the meal that is something that's not processed. So a slow process. What about stop adding salt? Stop adding salt to the already processed food, because your taste buds are going to really crave that added salt. So stop it, get used to it, get used to other spices and experiment with different types of spices. And as well, the salts that are added to these processed food, these are not very high qualified salts. These are very low quality salts. So I personally love to use the pink Himalayan salt. I know this is it's not as sharp and intense, but it's a very nice and mild type of salt. And also plan ahead. Planning ahead really helps to not like grab just what comes to your hands from the cupboards, because you have this, again, addictive, prone to the addictiveness that you need, that taste and that crunch and that certain combination. So these are a few tips. I also really encourage you to get in tune with the food. Use your brain and your mind. Look at the food when you have it in front of you. How does the food serve you? Really think about, what is it doing to my cells? Is it rejuvenating? Is it serving the purpose of my body to fuel it and to really give it the satisfaction that it needs to rebuild you and to keep you full and energy and happy? What is this food doing to me? Use your brain, your eyes, your mind, and really think about that. Take a couple of breather before you eat and just look at your food and think about what it's doing to you. These little things can really help you to wean away from eating too much highly processed food. So these are my tips of the day. I hope this video was helpful to you. And leave me a comment if you have any questions regarding other factors of highly processed food. As well, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I keep that up to date with lots of great content. And I really would love for you to join the tribe over at the Fire Up Academy for Women private Facebook group. That's where I hang out. That's where the tribe, the women hang out. We all strive to get fired up and live the best life possible. So request to join and I'll be happy to add you. The link will be in the comment. Have a wonderful one.